I'm Kerry Fink with Helping Seniors of Brevard. Time for Helping Seniors updates. Today is Friday, and it's the 11th of September, and hope your day is a good and safe one on all counts. And have the privilege of having with us today none other than Charisse Durham, our star from Boniface Hires Dodge, where we were out over Labor Day weekend checking out that amazing Dodge Challenger. Sorry. How you doing?
I am fantastic. How are you?
It is all good, and I was telling somebody the other day. Not only have those videos where we were out and about at all the dealerships, because we checked out each one of the locations where AJ Hires has one of the Boniface Hires dealerships, and they each are represented in the Helping Seniors Car Raffle. Because as you know, the winner gets to pick from a 2020 Chevrolet Camaro, 2020 Dodge Challenger, 2020 Kia Sportage, or a 2020 Mazda Miata convertible. So we were out there, and as you know, we were both checking out that Dodge car. Man, what a car! But those videos have had already somewhere north of 11,000 views, even since we were there. And today I just got word back that they have now put it out on all the Boniface Hire social media. So really, I think you're going to be world famous before this is all over.
Well, I don't know about that, but those cars certainly deserve it. It was a very nice day to be out there, and that Challenger is just gorgeous. I'm excited about the opportunity. I think we're going to come up and see the other cars as well. So I'm looking forward to a little more activity with those. It'll make for a difficult choice at the end of the day, I believe.
I totally agree. And tomorrow, when we get to Saturday will be the 12th, and that is literally 4 Saturdays until we do the big grand drawing. And we're going to be doing the drawing and broadcasting it live over Facebook and over YouTube. And it is like a full day event. We're going to have so much fun. You're going to want to pop in throughout the day and see what's going on, because we're going to have celebrity visitors. We're going to have lots of friends of Helping Seniors. The one thing we can't do, though, that day because of COVID restrictions is have large crowds. And if you remember last year, we had well over 2,000 people. In fact, it set a record for the most number of people that Mark Pylock and his team over there had ever hosted in a single day. And it all went smooth, and we were so looking forward to doing that this October 10th. But in the interest of safety for seniors, they don't want us to do groups. In fact, right now, still, I believe the governor's restriction is you can't have a group over 50 people. So we want to do everything the right way, the safe way. But all is not lost, because number one, you're going to see all these beautiful cars on Facebook and YouTube. And if you have your ticket, you could be actually getting the keys to one of those cars. But on top of that, your ticket is going to allow you to see those cars in person at the American Muscle Car Museum, because Mark Pylock has so generously promised us to open up the museum specifically for Helping Seniors ticket holders on up to 3 different occasions as soon as the restrictions allow us to do that. So that's going to give Charisse, everybody, an opportunity to go check this out.
I was talking the other day to someone about the whole event and the raffle and what Helping Seniors of Brevard does, and giving them, the elevator speech, I guess you would say, and in talking about some of the cars that are at the American Muscle Car Museum. And I said, oh, wow, a month away. I said, yeah, that's, depending on your pay schedule, that's, at least 1 paycheck, maybe 2. And it's really worth putting some of that over. And so they were like, yeah, I'm going to have to do that. And they put it on their calendar. And I talked to someone else the other day, and I said, I've been buying tickets here and there, and I've got a little stack of them, but that those tickets would get them in to see some really cool cars. And we were trying to schedule a time, a social time to have like dinner or something like that. And I said, you know what, instead of us having dinner, why don't you buy a ticket and I'll buy a ticket, and we'll just go together once this is all over. And, we'll mark that date. It'll be a TBD, but it'll be us out at the cars. And I think it's just a very unique opportunity, not just to win a car, but to see that museum. It's something like nothing else.
Well, and that's what we've been talking about. You really get 3 things when you buy a Helping Seniors Car Raffle ticket. So number one, you have each ticket is a chance in that car. And so, if you do a nationwide, if you ever read like the back of when they do those contests at the fast food restaurants, and your chance of winning the big prize is one in like 800 million or something crazy like that. And then you come down, this is really for the most part a local contest. And so if you think odds, the odds are really, you're not talking even in the 10,000s, you're talking in the low thousands. And so just to get involved and get into that is fun. And boy, if you're like the lady who won last year, and we were talking about that, Charisse, we're going to have to invite her to come in and do kind of a testimonial. I think she wandered in and bought a ticket that night and went home with a beautiful Dodge Challenger. So that was a pretty good night at the museum, I would think.
I doubt that she would ever forget that night at a museum. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been to a lot of museums in my time for a lot of reasons, but I'm sure that would probably be the top night at the museum for me too.
That's it. And then the second thing, of course, is just what you laid out is you get to go to the museum. So win or lose or whatever with the car raffle itself, you're still a winner because you will be going to enjoy the museum. And as we were joking about when we were out at the Dodge dealership looking at that beautiful Dodge Challenger, we're like, well, the good news is the way this works out, you can buy your 5 tickets for $100, figure out if you win. And in all cases, you'll be the good guy because you'll pick up the phone, call your friends and say, hey, we're going to the museum and I'm treating you to the museum. So you got to buy lunch. That's how you work this thing, I think. And then the third and probably the most important thing when you really boil it down is the fact that this is a fundraiser for Helping Seniors charitable organization. And with all the things that we've been through with COVID this year, I was just making the observation to somebody. It's like, wow, the work that Kim and the team does in manning that senior information helpline is more critical than ever. People are challenged with trying to not only figure out the problems of aging, but now let's just throw this whole COVID thing in on top of it. And everybody has to make every adjustment in the world to make that happen. So when you buy those tickets, you are actually supporting the work of Helping Seniors directly. And it is so important because people always assume nonprofits just get mountainous government grants and things like that. That's not how Helping Seniors works. We exist because of the generosity and support of business partners. You guys at Hibiscus Court have been tremendous friends of Helping Seniors, literally probably since almost the day Joe started the organization 10 years ago. But then even, Charisse, I was commenting, I was so pleased, and thrilled that you had gotten some tickets just personally too. It's like, thank you for supporting us. I appreciate it.
Well, in my experience, I really try to, coming from a nonprofit background, I align myself with my time and energy to organizations that are efficient and have a great value. And Helping Seniors of Brevard is unique. It has a great value to our community. You guys really do good works. So, not just doing these videos, not just taking this time, not because I'm with a longstanding partner. Personally, I ought to invest as well. So you got to put your money where your mouth is too sometimes.
So appreciate that. And thank you for what you do for everything. And I know that's always been the spirit, though, of everybody that I've ever had the pleasure of working with together at Hibiscus Court. You guys really do care for seniors in the right way. And so one of the things I did want us to talk about besides car raffle today was, I guess you guys are getting ready because now the governor has relaxed these restrictions. In fact, I think we were talking about it just the other week when you first got the order. And I remember you were explaining you guys were having meetings because you want to make sure that as you do this and open up correctly, you do it safely and well. You guys have been able to really be a model in the community about how to work through a very difficult COVID time. So why don't you give us a little bit of an update about what's happening on that?
Sure. So, I think it's kind of, when we phrase it, we all say eased restrictions. Well, it might feel like an easement, but this 12-page order with all these details really put a lot of rules in place. So we have submitted our plan, and we have really poured over it with everything from all the professionals from many walks And so we are very excited about being able to reopen the door on Tuesday. And most senior living communities, most senior care facilities, long-term, skilled, that kind of thing, are going to be able to open to a degree. So what we know is that those, like our community, we've been COVID free. And the communities have to be COVID free for 14 days.
Mm-hmm.
If they do have a case, the doors close again so that we curb that spread. So, if you're associated with some other facility that hasn't opened their doors, there are some reasons why you can't. It's not just a one size fits all, the doors open automatically. So there's some cautions. There are 3 different types of visitors. There's your essential caregivers, your compassionate your compassionate visitors, and then your general visitors. And general visitors would be just family member, that kind of thing. There are a lot of limitations. When someone comes in, everybody's used to the screening and the temperature checks generally. So we'll be screening and temperature checks, but it also includes personal protective equipment.
Okay.
In public, we've all gotten used to having fabric masks, and we put them in our purses or our pockets. And really, how often are we washing them? Where are they coming in contact with? So for us, it will mean taking all of that off and putting all fresh new PPE on, so know that. We really want to see our families, especially our families, but if they haven't felt well, then we ask them not to. You got to help us keep them safe. There's some infection control training that goes along. There's a designated visitation area. The biggest thing for families, though, is to know that it still does not provide for contact. Everybody wants that hug just as much as I do. That's the one thing I miss the most in my community, is being able to hug my residents. Or hold their hands, or just spend time with them. Physical contact is so important. So that still isn't going to be one of those things that is allowed per the order. There's still the social distancing. There's still, things like that, but you do get to be in the room with them. You do get to, have a little bit more closeness. So it is a great thing. You get to really lay eyes on. Just because of the logistics, families should expect that there's a bit of a time limitation,
right?
Because the visits do have to be supervised in a way, and there are tons of people that want to come in, and we can't have more than so many at a time. So there is a schedule, and you do have to reserve a spot, and there's all these steps. But thank you for giving us a couple of weeks to figure out how to do it the correct way. And the patience with being able to schedule that visit. It's coming, and hopefully if we get through this, then we can say, what, hugs are coming. And when the hugs are coming, that day is going to be so spectacular. We're ready for that as well. But for now, we're very excited about being able to reopen to our families.
Now that is terrific, and I'm so excited for you. I'm excited for everybody who calls Hibiscus Court home. I'm excited for the families, and just universally good to see that we feel like we're coming to another aspect of all this as we figure out how to do this safely. And so, Charisse, I know you guys are. We were talking about this. I'm sure you're going to be really booked solid with people who want to take a look and things like that, and consider if that's the community for their loved one. But I don't know how much of that is still virtual and all that, but let's make sure we give your phone number. So if somebody has a question, or they want to kind of find out, maybe they're thinking that it would be better for mom or dad or that relative to be in a safe environment like that, how do they get in touch with Hibiscus Court?
Yeah, they can call Hibiscus Court at 321-951-1050, and we will be opening for tours on Tuesday as well. Again, they'll have to be scheduled and go through some of the same protocol. But one of the things we have seen is that a lot of families have hunkered down, as everybody has, and they've kind of put those moves off because they can. They're working from home. They're helping their loved one, and the world is starting to open back up even more.
Right.
And with the visitation, it changes what's the flow. So now with visitation for family members, people can still come in and tour and sit and talk and see for themselves. And then once their loved one does move in, they're able to visit. So that is going to change a lot. And yes, I've already, got a lot on the books. So we'll get everybody in as soon as we can. But I, for one, you don't work in I don't work in senior care without having a heart for those families and those seniors. It is personal. You have to have a heart for it to do it well. And I miss hugging my residents just as much as I miss meeting a family in crisis and being able to help them come to a better senior living solution, get some resources, direct them even to Helping Seniors of Brevard if I need to, those kind of things. We work in this industry because we have a heart for seniors, and meeting those families that are in crisis and being able to, help them along. That's a mission. It's a personal, near and dear to my heart. So I'm really ready to be able to have those families come in and sit and take a deep breath and be like, I can help in some way. It somehow, some way, we'll get to the next step. And
that's right.
That's a big deal. So we're very excited. And to book a tour or to book the visit with the family member, they can call 321-951-1050.
Thank you. Yeah, no, and I would encourage you to do that if you're watching this. And by the way, there's plenty of videos over the years that we've had the privilege of working together on that give you also some insight, and not only insight into how the Hibiscus community is so beneficial for seniors, but also, to be honest, just some good tips as you're trying to figure out what is the right thing for my loved one, whether could be a spouse that just needs, attention and help on the memory care side, or it could be mom or dad or another relative that you care for, but give them a call. And then thank you again, Charisse, for taking time and getting so involved and helping us in everything that we're trying to do with the Helping Seniors Car Raffle. I do have to say, as we close out today's Helping Seniors Update, there are some really exciting things that are coming up next week with all that. We don't want to spoil all the thunder, but this is just going to get more and more interesting as we work our way up. We're 4 weeks out now from the grand drawings, but if you're going to be in it, you got to be in it to win it. And it's real simple. One ticket is $25, 5 tickets for $100 donation to Helping Seniors. And by the way, Charisse, they're telling me that they're making some changes even to the tax stuff this year. So even if you normally haven't been able to deduct, your charitable gifts because maybe you fall under a level where that makes sense, you're not able to itemize deductions. What we read, the guidance earlier this year, is in response to COVID. They wanted to do stuff to help keep nonprofits, able to keep moving. So they wanted to give that extra incentive. So what we've been hearing is that you're supposed to be able to deduct, your charitable giving this year, even if that's not been something you're normally able to do. So not only are you doing the right thing by helping seniors, but I believe it's going to come back and have benefits. You might win the car, or at the very least, you've done a great thing, had a great night at the museum, and you're even able to help yourself a little bit on taxes. So HelpingSeniorsCarRaffle.com is how you do that. HelpingSeniorsCarRaffle.com. You can get your tickets there. You can also call Kim in our office at 321-473-7770. That's 321-473-7770. Or just like we did over Labor Day weekend, you can visit these beautiful dealerships that AJ has. He's got the Dodge store in the Merritt Island area, and then the Chevrolet and the Kia and the Mazda are all right there, fairly close together in downtown Melbourne. They can all get you set up with tickets. And I guess, before COVID and maybe now after COVID, you guys have been a ticket pickup point, I think.
We have, and I do have tickets on site, but since we can't let anybody in, if you give me a call, I'll meet you outside if we're the most convenient.
All right, we'll figure it all out. Well, thank you, Charisse. I sure do hope you have a great weekend. Thank you for all the work you do, not only with Hibiscus Court taking care of seniors and everybody there, but also through Helping Seniors. And thank you, viewer, for joining us for Helping Seniors Update. Hope you have a good and safe weekend. We've made it this far. Let's keep the good work up.